The selection tool that I chose for this project is the Young Adult Library Services Association website. I chose this because working at a middle school, a lot of our books are going to fit into this realm. We're kind of in a really tough spot between what you would order for an elementary school and what you would order for a high school, the middle school. So this is where I would get started. This is the website where every time I go to a conference, every time I go to any kind of professional development, these are the links we're given because it is the American Library Association. So there are a lot of really great resources here. I would start by looking at the awards and grants section and going to the book and media list. These are all of the books that are hitting those high awards, high honors, or they've been nominated for these high awards and honors. So it is a perfect place to start. If I want to remain current in my library with the newest books that are out, then this is where I want to go. I like how you can sort it by different types of things. Like I know our librarian is trying to beef up our graphic novels section. I really like this popular paperbacks for young adults. If I had an English teacher that was trying to add to their classroom collection, I probably would direct them here so that they would know that, these are the less expensive books. These are the ones that have been out for a little bit. I like the teens top 10 because if we know anything about teens, it's that they aren't so worried about what adults think is good literature. They want to know what other kids are reading. So this is the type of list you get when you click on those links. Notice there are no links over here. I don't get really any explanation of what the book's about, nothing like that. So what I do instead of just coming here is the first thing you could do is go to the Teen Bookfinder database. So when I see a book on there that looks good or the title's interesting, I can come here. Or I could just start here. I really like this because when I come to the same thing, I'm looking for, award-winning books, or if I'm looking for a particular genre that I need to beef up my library with. For instance, I know that our nonfiction section is very dated. All the books are quite old. So if I wanted to beef that up, this is where I'm going to come. And I like this better because for a lot of them, I get an image of the book. I get what the book is about. I get tags, anything else relating to that book. And it's just better than just looking at a whole list of titles. I need to know a little bit about a book and know if this is something that I need to add. For instance, I hear this one, the 57 Bus, is amazing. So I'm probably going to want to add that to my collection. The other thing I really like about it is it'll give you links to similar books or linked books to the one that you're looking at. So that's fantastic. I can also look for it by year. How current do you want it to be? By author. I love it. The other thing that is on here that they direct you to is the hub. You can find the hub on the YALSA site as well. And I like it because it gives me even more information about a book. Being at a junior high, we have to be so careful about the books we purchase for our library. Our kids' interest level is getting into that YA territory, and yet some of them are 11 and 12 years old, and we just can't have every single YA book on our shelves. Our community is very conservative. We have a lot of parents that will challenge the books that we have in our library, so they've changed the criteria for how to get books on our shelves. So if I see a book that I want for my library, I can't just come here. I have to do a little bit more research. Notice that as much information as I'm given about the book down here, it doesn't give me an age range or anything like that. So I would have to take that title to another website and look at a review to make sure anything that has young adult on it, I've got to do a little more research on. For instance, there's a lot of buzz right now about the Poet X. I can't just buy the Poet X though, because it says YA. So if I come here to Kirkus and I read the review there, the age range is 14 through 18. Darn it, I can't just buy it and put it on my shelf. I'm going to have to take it to an advisory committee with other librarians at the middle school level, and we all have to read the book, and then we all have to talk about issues that may be in the book that may keep it from being on our shelves. Even with a YA label, they won't just let us buy it and put the YA label on it. However, Kirkus is great, and it gives me other things that maybe are similar to it. This says children, so maybe that'd be a little more feasible. It sure is. 8 to 12. I can read the reviews. If it's a good review, then I can go ahead and buy that book. I love the suggested buy list that we're given. You have it over here in the hub as well. So anytime I look at a book, I want to see, what other book is similar to it. What are people reading who like that book? Common Sense Media is another place you can go to find book reviews. However, to me, this is a little more conservative, and it is a little more subjective because you're looking at what a lot of kids and parents are saying about the book. Common Sense will give it a rating as well. They're saying age 13. However, parents are saying age 15, so I probably would stay away from this book because, like I said, my community is conservative. And if I see that on a site like this, if parents are going 15 and higher, that maybe we need to wait to have that at a high school level. So out of all of the selection tools that I looked at, this is the one that I felt had the largest variety of information for what my task would be as a middle school or high school librarian, which honestly is my focus. I know I could end up in an elementary school, and that's fine, and I know where to go for the elementary school books too as well, but this is where I am right now, and this is where I've been for 20 years. So this is probably where I would go to first to try to help my students find books. Oh, I forgot. I also love that they do reviews on audiobooks. So a lot of my struggling readers, I can get them into a book if I can have them listen to it and read it at the same time. And this one lets me know if the reader is doing a good job to keep my students interested. Because you could have a really enticing book, but if the reading isn't done well, then they're not going to maintain interest. So I know, I have a lot of these books in my room. I have Scythe, and I have The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, and I have The Pearl Thief. So this is a great way for me to go, oh, wow, these audiobooks are good. I need to get these audiobooks in the library as well, so that even my struggling readers who would be interested in the subject matter can still read the book and enjoy it. So that's the YA LSA selection tool that I chose.